sincerity and the truth, shalawam. There's GMS precepts, and there's our khad here. And real quick, I got a few articles here. You can see this one in the title. Basically, so this is from the Guardian.com, and it says gender dysphoria diagnoses among children in England rise 50-fold over 10 years, right? Study of the gender, what was this, gender, study of GP records finds prevalence rose from 1 in 60,000 in 2011 to 1 in 1,200 in 2021, and that's in a span of 10 years. So that drastically, that 50 times, right? So is that by coincidence? Is it by indoctrination? That's not really a natural jump in numbers, So even if you were to argue, well, that's just that's natural. Or if you were to argue, I mean, you can't really argue that that's only natural, right? Even if you were to say that, I would say what, 1%, like 1% rise would be understandable, but 50-fold, that's 50 times what it was 10 years ago, right? and or not even 10 years ago, the span of 10 years, that was about 15 years ago, because right now we're in 2025, and this article is recent. This article is recent. Where is it? See, it's from January 25th, January 2025, right? So that's a big number, but Esau, but those numbers are still low. Hey, nigga, it's too high, It's too goddamn high, and the kingdom is gonna go to 0. Okay, because anyway. So let me continue. So I'll bring this out to show that this world, and this is in England. I've got articles here. I got another article, but obviously the face of gender dysphoria is right here in America, right? The face of the LGBTQXRZ movement as a whole is right here in America. You can call the land of America as Sodom, right? And we know what happens with Sodom, right? The Most High already made an example of any nation that follows after Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Matter of fact, let me go there right now. I know it's in Peter's, Sodom. Let's Google that. Let me go to. Let me give. Excuse me. Let me check the. I already know what book it is. It's in Peter's. This is. Yeah, here it is. Peter's 2 and 6. That's what it is. So so it says. So this is 2 Peter's 2 and 6. It says, "And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them what? An example unto those that you after live ungodly," right? So scriptures speak about everything being for our learning, right? So the Most High made an example out of Sodom and Gomorrah, because one of the things that they were doing was overall, it was what? Sexual immorality was their main vice, or their main form of wickedness was sexual immorality. They did all types of necrophilia and all type of witchcraft. But Sodom, Gomorrah, and those neighboring cities, totaling 5, they were known for I mean, shit, they made a name out of the word Sodom. You know what the act of sodomy is. You see, so they were well known for those perverse acts that are committed right now in America. And we see that the Most High, he made what? An example out of Sodom and Gomorrah in those cities. What do you think is going to happen to any nation or country or peoples that follow in the same uh, um, practices as this city, right? It's already prophesied what's going to happen to that city and will happen to that city according to prophecy, right? It's going to make them, it's going to turn those cities into ashes, right? So going back to this article, I'll read a little bit of it, right? So it says the number of children. So I mean, the title in itself, that says it all, man. And this is a damn sickness. It's a disease. It's a pandemic. Okay, it's a sickness. It's an illness, and it's something that's taught. There's no way, And of course, I'm sure food has something to do with it. But this is something that's being pushed. This is something that's being forced, and we can see it, and we can see it in our numbers. How you go from 1 in 60 in 2011, right, to children having being diagnosed with gender dysphoria, to now it's 1 in 1,200 in 10 years, in the span of 10 years, right? The number, let's read a little bit of this. It says the number of children and young people in England with a diagnosis of gender dysphoria recorded by a GP has risen 50-fold over 10 years. Researchers found, though numbers are still relatively small, the growing number of birth-registered females seeking referrals to gender clinics has raised concerns in recent years, with tensions over how best to tackle gender dysphoria in children, resulting in a CAS review last year. However, much of the previous work was based on referrals to specialist services rather than capturing the situation in primary care, the first port of call. However, much of the previous work was based on referrals to specialist services rather than capturing the situation in primary care, the first port of call for many seeking help. Now, a study by a team that carried out research informing the CAS review has looked at GP records to shed light on trends in the community. What we have is a number of children who've ever had a diagnosis of something related to gender dysphoria, right? So, I mean, look, this is something, this is something that's obviously pushed, and the reason why the increase is so much is because they're starting younger and younger and younger. You cannot say that them teaching about sexual identity in children isn't having an effect on that. I mean, it's in schools, it's in cartoons, it's everywhere you go, and then they grow, and then the kids grow up, and then you wonder why there's a rise in gender identity. It's because it's being pushed more and more and more and more in children's faces, all this studies, and I mean, this is all fluff, fugazi. Like, I mean, it's evident, it's easy to know why there's a rise in gender dysphoria, is because it's being pushed at such a young age, but now, and now you can't even identify what a woman is. A woman can be anything, and there's thousands of genders, so I bring that out to just say that this is, without a shadow of a doubt, the land of confusion. This is definitely spiritually Babylon, right? Another article: Trump to ink new executive orders today banning transgender service members in military DEI programs, right? Hip hip hooray. I'm gonna say no on that. So So here's another article: 203 best and worst countries for trans. Right. So this is showing the countries that it's starting from the worst to the best. And you scroll down here, like I said, obviously I'll leave these in the description. Um, these are all the countries. It's scrolling down here. It's going to the best country, and it starts at the worst country. The best country is, I guess, Malta, score of 250. Canada, A. I missed America. Maybe they don't need to be on the map here because they're just like I said, they're spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, if you scroll, they have a map here. They're listed here. They would be considered an A, or is that like a B plus? Depending on how dark it is. You see here, it's all black and dark. They're considered dangerous. Let me see, man. Maybe I missed America. See, these are the B's. B plus. Oh, wow! Look at that. So, United States is 40. Yeah. So, United States is 40. So, since April. So, and then they go over. That's crazy. So, that's crazy. So, they're saying United States is number 40 as far as the country that's, they're ranked 1 out of 40. So is it almost 50? What's the grade they got? They got a B. Okay. Yeah, so these are the countries that are safe, the worst place, the worst and best places for LGBTQ, and it's starting at the worst. So I'll leave that in the description also. But all these countries here, they're all sick of the ways of this damn of America. They're sick of these ways, man. What is it? It says, and all the earth are drunken. Because they're just being polluted with the mentality and the image of the beast in their society, and they can't wait to get rid of that out of their society, and they soon will, according to prophecy, man. They soon will. So I'll leave that in the description also. But let me bring out this definition and I'll close it on that. This is the definition of Babel, right? This is from Genesis, the 11th chapter, when it goes into that tower being built. It says, therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound their language of all the earth, and from hence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth, right? And that's what the Lord did. He confounded, or he confused the language. And you go into the word Babel, it means confusion. And how is this place not spiritually Babylon? How is it not? You go into the word Babel or Babylon, it goes, here's a definition. It means confusion, right? By mixing, right? So then you go into the root word. You go into the root word here, and it says what? To mix, mingle, confuse, confound. Because spiritually, that's what the Most High did. He mixed, he mingled, he confused, he confounded the language, because it tells you a few verses up, everybody spoke one language. And then what did the Lord do? He confounded the language. He mixed up the languages between the people, because that it wasn't the time yet for people to speak one language. There will be one language dominating the earth, but that's going to be in the kingdom, when everybody's going to be speaking Hebrew, Lashwan Kodash. That's when everything is going to go back to its rightful order. You see? But that's showing you spiritually who Esau is, because he doesn't want to go according to the order of what the Most High wants. He wants to create his own way. Anything, and this is why he's referred to as the devil, right? Because he's or the enemy. He's spiritually adverse to anything that the Most High wants to push. You know, because that's how he's programmed. The Most High programmed Esau to be opposite of righteousness, man. You know, so he's gonna go opposite of the way what the Most High wants. You see, so so that's the definition: to mix, mingle, confuse, confound. You see, mix, to mix, mingle, confuse, to give provender or feed. Now you look up the word provender. Basically, it's a feeder where you give an animal, like if you go to a farm and you see what the cows eat, it comes down a big tube, and it like they put a bunch of mixed grinded up food, and they feed it to the cow. But it's a bunch of food that's mixed together, it's confounded together, and they feed it. That's what a provender is. You know, but it's still the same definition. It's stuff that's mixed, it's mingled together, and that's what spiritually. That's why this earth is out of order, because the leaders that are running this place are confusing the whole world, where you can't even define what a man or a woman is. This place is totally lost, you know. And now you have kids growing up not knowing, hey, you know what? I don't know what gender I am. I don't feel like I'm this gender. They're confused because it's what's being pushed in this society. That is what the image of the beast is. It's a certain ideology that's being pushed throughout the whole world, and the world is getting sick of it. You don't believe me? Look at this map right here. You know? Look at this chart right here. Let me go to, where's the map? Damn, excuse me, I'm going too fast here. Where's the map here? Look at this map here. You know? So, and this is as of 2023. So that's pretty much it. I'll leave this, maybe I'll make this a thumbnail. I'll leave all these articles in the description. Lord willing, brothers and sisters, were edified. Until the next show, shalom.